Hey there, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about mixed numbers and improper fractions. Let's take a look at some examples. Here on this side, we've got a mixed number, and here on this side is an improper fraction. An easy way to remember this is, take a look at the numerator versus the denominator. It just does not look proper at all, because the numerator is so much higher than the denominator. Usually, it looks like this, where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. And on this side, a mixed number would be a whole number and a fraction. So they're mixed. Get it? Mixed. And here, improper, because it looks weird. Improper is weird, like Mr. Nicanor just out in public. Just really weird. All right, so here are the examples. Let's draw it out so that you'll be able to see this a little bit better. First, let's take a look what this is. This right here is a whole number. And this right here is the fraction. All right, let's take a few moments to talk about what a whole number is. It can also be called a whole fraction. And what that means is they are the same numerator and denominator. So it doesn't matter. It could be 9 over 9, 20 over 20, or even 1,000 over 1,000. A whole number or a whole fraction will have the same numerator and denominator. That's what makes it whole. All right, since the numerator is the same as the denominator, all these whole fractions are equal to 1. So you could write all of these fractions as the number 1. And since 1 you know is a whole number, you can take the number 1 as a whole number and turn them into whole fractions as well. Depending on your fraction, they could also be, let's say, 17 over 17, 36 over 36, and let's say 2 over 2. It doesn't matter. You just know that that whole number is the same as the numerator and denominator. Now you'll have to take a look at what fraction you have to know what the denominator is. All right, so let's go back to see what an improper fraction is now. All right, here's the improper fraction. And remember I told you what is the easiest way to remember improper fraction? Because it looks weird. I think the best way to show you how an improper fraction works is to draw it out. So we're going to talk about pizza because Mr. Nicanor loves pizza. I keep telling you guys. Does anyone know what my favorite pizza flavor is? Probably won't know. All right, so I'll tell you about it later. Let's say that there are 11 pizza slices left out of 4 slices in each box. All right, let's draw this out. If there are 4 slices in each box, let's choose our color. Let's say yellow. Okay, here's a whole pizza slice. And you know that it is still there, so that's 1, that's 2, 3, that's 4. Let's do another slice. Okay, now we know that there's 5, 6, 7, 8 pizzas there. And how many slices left? 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's how many pizza slices are left. Let's take a look at this again. We know that the denominator says 4, so it's out of 4 slices, right over here. And we had to count the pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, do you now see the relationship between the numerator and the denominator? Now that we've drawn it out, does it make more sense? If we drew this into a mixed fraction, does it seem familiar to another one that we've seen earlier? Let's take a look. All right. Seem familiar now? Take a look. Here's the mixed number. Here's the whole. How many wholes do we have? Let's move this over. We have 2 whole slices of pizza and 3 out of 4 pizza slices left. Here's the mixed number. Here's the improper fraction, and they're one and the same. Let's break this down even more to help us understand. A mixed number or mixed fraction and an improper fraction are interchangeable. you can always use either or. 2 3/4 is always going to be the same as 11 over 4. Now, when you're taking a summative test or a formative test, you'll have to note which one it's asking for. So if it's asking for an improper fraction, make sure that the numerator is larger than the denominator. If it's asking you for a mixed number or a mixed fraction, make sure there's a whole number and that there's a fraction. Okay, how can we illustrate this better, that these two are interchangeable? All right, so here's the mixed fraction. Even though they don't show you, what this is 2 plus 3 over 4. That's what this means, 2 plus 3 over 4. Even though they don't show this plus sign, it's there. So you're adding 2 wholes and 3/4. Remember what we talked about earlier? We said this, that any whole number can represent 1, and 1 can represent the whole number of that fraction. So let's go back to our example. If we take a look at this again, let's break down this whole number. If we know that 4 is the denominator, then this whole number should actually be, let's change my color, 4 over 4. And that is one whole right there. Now, since there's 2, it is, oops, sorry, undo, it is 4 over 4 as well. So there's 2 wholes right there, 4 over 4 and 4 over 4 plus 3 over 4. So if we look at it this way, 4 over 4 plus 4 over 4 plus 3 over 4 would equal what? 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. So it equals 11 over 4. See how that works? And you can only add because the denominators are all the same. So that is 11 over 4. Let's take a look back at that pizza slice that we had. So here are the pizza slices to make it easier to understand. Now, what we have here is, trying to change my color. Here is 4 out of 4, right here, 4 out of 4. Here is another whole, 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4. And then this is our other fraction, 3 out of 4. And they all make an improper fraction, 11 out of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is the numerator, out of 4 slices. Pretty good. Right, the last thing I'm going to show you is how to take a mixed number and turn it into an improper fraction. All right, so our old mixed number friend was 2 3/4. Now, how can we turn this into an improper fraction? We can also use math. So we know that the denominator is always going to be 4. This denominator will not change. We know that this whole number is going to be 4 out of 4. So how do we convert that? Adding the numerator. Ooh, that's a lot of circles. So here is the easiest thing that we can do. We're going to take the denominator of 4 and we're going to multiply it by 2. So the first thing that we're going to do is multiply 4 by 2, which equals 8. And the way that we got that is over this, over here, 4 times 2. And the second step that we're going to do is add the numerator. So we have the answer of 8. And we're going to add the numerator, which is 11. Like I said before, get it? 4. I said before. The denominator does not change, and what we found out here is the numerator. The answer then would be 11 over 4. So let me review really quickly about the steps that we took. Step 1, to change a mixed number into an improper fraction, is take the denominator right here, and you're going to multiply the whole number. So 4 times 2. 4 times 2 equals 8. Step 2, add the numerator. Since you have 8 here, the numerator would be 3. 8 plus 3 equals 11. And there is your improper fraction. All right. Hopefully that you get some practice doing this. If you have any questions, I would suggest to rewind this video and take a look at the parts that you were confused about. Just try and make it clear. If you need more practice questions, feel free to ask me. All right. Happy fractioning.